Good morning, my beautiful souls. My name is Nicole, and I am here to help you reconnect with the light that shines deep within you. Today, I would like to talk about the power of now, the power of the present moment. Some of you may already have read the book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, and this book and the concepts in this book really changed my life. I found this book at a time when I was going through some very difficult moments in my life. I found this book after I was in severe depression, had a really bad mental breakdown, and just really didn't know how I was going to find my way back to any kind of normal life. This book taught me about mindfulness. This book taught me about how the only moment that actually matters in our life is the moment we are experiencing right now. Because every moment, every memory, every single thing that we do in life is created in the present moment. What happens is we've started to look at time in a bit of a warped way, and what happens is when we are overly focused on the past, it means that we're living in depression, because we can't let go of the past and we can't let go of things that happened previously. Now, alternatively, we are constantly living in a state of anxiety because we're constantly looking to the future, constantly wondering, what if this happens, what if that happens? And this takes us away from the present moment, and we are no longer conscious or mindful about what we're doing with our lives. The concept of the book, The Power of Now, really taught me that it's really all about being fully present, fully conscious in whatever is happening in the now, in being fully present in the present moment. It showed me that for too long we try and control things that are completely out of our control. And whilst we're all going through some major hardships at this time and all trying to figure out how we're going to continue moving through this world, moving through this life now, which is just so uncertain, in which we just seem to have no idea what's going to happen anymore, because that feeling of comfort that we gained from being in our comfort zone, from living our lives from day to day and not really questioning what comes next, we sort of became complacent, forgetting that nothing is certain. Even before this pandemic hit us, nothing was certain, but we became so used to the hustle and bustle and the day-to-day and the constant, incessant movement that we've continued to live thinking that nothing will ever harm us, that nothing will ever change, that everything is always set in stone, when this is not the case. This is simply what we have led ourselves to believe because of the society that we were living in. But now, the present moment, what does the present moment teach us? The present moment teaches us that the more we are present in whatever is happening right now, the more we're focusing on what is happening right now in this present moment, the less we are creating thoughts and beliefs that are probably never going to happen. For example, I'm sitting here right now and my entire focus is on this video. I'm not worrying oh, how many people are going to like this video, or how many people are going to watch it. I'm putting out this information because I feel called to, and I feel that this information can help a lot of you. So every single time we find ourselves in the present moment and we are focused and our mind is a million miles away thinking about all sorts of other things that quite literally might never even happen, we are limiting ourselves from moving forward. We are creating limiting beliefs that stop us from thinking that everything is okay. And the thing is, the more we think about the past and the more we think about the future, the less we're actually living in the present moment and the less we're actually living our life. So, what do I mean by being more present? What I mean by being more present is being fully focused on whatever is happening right now. So if you are at work, focus fully on whatever you're doing at work. Give it your all. Give it your best. Just do the absolute best that you can and give it your absolute focus, and even try and enjoy whatever you're doing. Because think about it this way, whenever we're having fun and we're doing things that make us happy, we completely lose track of time and we're so in the moment and we enjoy it. Being fully in the present moment also is what helps us to get into a state of flow. So now there are lots of people out there who become adrenaline junkies, for example, because when they are in that moment, what happens is they become fully immersed in whatever is happening in that moment, that it almost takes them out of this world. It almost feels like they are living in a different dimension, in a different space, in a different time. Things work differently. We're happy, we're elated, our mood is high, our vibration is high. We completely lose track of time. We don't know where we are. And how can we get into the state of flow? By just putting our full attention onto what is happening in the present moment, into what is happening right now. If you have an errand to do, do that errand and focus fully on that errand. If you are going for a hike, fully focus on your hike. Don't allow your energy to be thinking about all sorts of other things. Just focus on putting one foot in front of the other and enjoying whatever is happening now. Stop allowing your focus and your attention to go into the past or into the future, because every time you do this, you are sending a signal to your brain that you are still living in the past, or that you are projecting insecurities into the future. And the more we project these insecurities into the future, the more we're actually calling them in to happen. I'll talk a little bit more about this in another video, which explains how everything is in fact energy and that our thoughts have the ability to create our reality. So please stay posted for that next video, which will be coming up soon. But in the interim, it's really about learning to be more present. And the more we're present and the more we're focused in what's happening in front of us in the right now, in the present moment, the less our thoughts are sending us all sorts of other places. The more I'm focused on what I'm doing right now and I'm not allowing my mind to wander, the less I'm allowing myself to live in anxiety or fear. Because I'm not constantly wondering about what if, or oh, this is what happened, what if the future is the same. I'm just focusing and giving my full attention to the present moment. And right now, as we're living through times of deep uncertainty, no one really knows what's going to happen, and big changes keep occurring, and big changes will continue to occur. Something that we had forgotten was that change is the only constant. Nothing ever stays the same. And the sooner that we can get comfortable with being in a state of change and being in the present moment and simply surrendering to whatever is happening in that present moment and not allowing our thoughts to wander off and bring in all sorts of thoughts about other things, about different tasks that we need to do throughout our day and different appointments and different people we need to see, focus fully on that present moment. So if you're calling a friend, allow yourself to fully be in that conversation with your friend or parent or whoever you are talking to. If you're writing an email, make sure that your mind is fully focused on writing that email. Stop thinking about a million other things as you're writing that email. If you're cooking a meal, put all your focus into cooking that meal. Don't be thinking about all sorts of things that have no relation to do with you cooking that meal. The more we learn to be fully focused and give all of our attention to whatever it is that we are doing in that present moment, the less we allow our thoughts to wander off. And now what happens is we all have thoughts. We have thoughts all the time. The mind is made to think. There is no way to switch off our brain. And even in meditation, we are not switching off our brain. Meditation is not about stopping our thoughts. Meditation is about one pointed focus. That means to put all of your attention, energy, consciousness, whatever you wish to call it, onto that one single point, onto whatever it is doing, only focusing on that present moment. The past and the future were created based on what was happening in the present moment. My future will only occur based on whatever decisions I choose to make right now. So keep remembering that the only way you can actually change your future is by changing your present moment, is by choosing to give your absolute best to the present moment. No matter what is happening, always give your full attention to the present moment. If you are at a party, be fully present in that party. Don't be thinking about work and all the things you need to do tomorrow and all the things you need to do next week, because that is putting your body into a state of anxiety when it doesn't need to be so. There is a time and place for everything. Now, the more we are in the present moment, the more we're able to start controlling our thoughts, the more we're able to only be focusing on what is happening in the now. Like I said, if we're focusing on the past, we're in depression. If we're focusing on the future, we're in anxiety. If we're in the present moment, we are still. It's learning to find that stillness within ourselves. And the more we start to be more present, the more we'll start to notice the thoughts that come. And when the thoughts come, allow them to come. Don't judge those thoughts, simply let them pass. So now, what the book, The Power of Now, talks about is learning to become the observer behind our thoughts. If you pay close attention, there is you, the outer you, and then there is that little voice inside our head that tells us things. The voice that says, I'm not good enough. The voice that says, I can't do that. The voice that says, I'll never be that good. People don't like me. It's that self-talk inside of ourselves. And where does that self-talk come from? That self-talk comes from all the experiences that we've had. It comes from all the pains, the anguish, the hardships that we have experienced. And of course, the mind is wired, the brain is wired to protect us. So what happens is when we find ourselves in a situation that seems similar, our brain will go back and realize we weren't comfortable in that kind of situation. So now this situation makes me uncomfortable. This situation will start to bring up unwanted feelings, unwanted thoughts, and those thoughts lead to emotions, and those emotions then impact the way we feel, the way we vibrate. So it's really not judging yourself for the thoughts that you have, but allowing those thoughts to come in and allowing them to pass, not allowing them to take control and to start thinking overly incessantly about whatever that thought was. Just being the observer, allowing the thought to come in, taking notice of that thought and gently releasing it. You can go into more detail about how to release your emotions in a previous video that I did. I'll put a link in the description box below so you can have access to that video. But this is where once we start to become aware of our thoughts, it makes it easier for us to then start to process which thoughts create what emotions, and what emotions do I need to process. So beautiful souls, stop being so hard on yourself. Stop being so difficult on yourself. Love yourself. Accept yourself for who you are. We are all dealing with hardship. We are all dealing with a big sense of unknown, what is to come next. And the more we start to focus on, oh, what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what's going to happen, the more we put ourselves in a situation of fear because we don't understand, we don't know what is going on. We simply cannot tell what the future holds for us. And rather than trying to plan what the future holds and having control, the less we can know and the more we put ourselves into states of anxiety. So next time you find yourself and your mind running off into a million different directions, and you find yourself with an incessant stream of thoughts, and you start to feel your energy dropping and you start to feel negative emotions taking over, simply come back to the present moment and ask yourself, in this moment, is everything in this moment currently okay? And if it is, then it means that you are okay. Don't bring in fears of another moment. Stop creating problems for yourself by believing that they are or that they might happen. Simply live in the present moment. And of course, this is easier said than done. It took me a while to get here. But it's a practice. It's a practice that the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. So beautiful souls, please continue being kind to yourself. Continue being present with yourself. Continue giving your entire focus to the present moment. Continue focusing on everything that is happening now and being the observer behind the thoughts. Simply letting your thoughts come in without judgment and letting them go. If you feel, oh, I could have done that better, let that thought come in and then let it go. Don't focus on it. Now that you're aware that you could have done things better, ask yourself, okay, how can I do things better? And choose to show up better in the next situation as opposed to blaming yourself for everything. Beautiful souls, thank you for your time. I wish you a beautiful journey, and I hope that this has given you light. Love and light.